Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the one and only, the true and living legend, Hunter J23, coming to you live with another very special edition of Independent Scene Podcast. I am so honored and delighted to be with you guys today. I have a very, very special guest in the building. You may know her from Tyler Perry's Bruh. You may know her from Medea's Christmas. You may know her also from Medea's Big Happy Family, and I am so honored and delighted to be with her, to have her in the building. She is none other than singer and actress, the real Chandra Currelley Young. For those of you that know, I am so honored to have her, and she's in the building. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome at this time my very, very special guest, the one and only, the real Chandra Currelley Young. Let's get it, y'all.
Hi.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm fabulous. How are you?
I am so wonderful. First of all, let me just say, I am so delighted and honored to have you on this platform. Thank you so much for gracing me with your presence. That's the first thing.
Well, thank you for having me.
Most definitely. Well, first of all, I gotta say, I'm truly a big fan. I love everything that you've been doing. I've been supporting everything you do, and I'm honored and I'm well delighted to know that you took this time out to talk to me. So I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for your show.
Most definitely. Well, first of all, for everybody that's tuning in, for those that don't know you, please introduce yourself to these lovely people, and if you're gonna jump right into it.
Singer and actress Chandra Currelley. Some of you guys know me as Chandra Currelley Young. Some of you guys know me as the Lady of the Holy Shake. And some of you know me as Alice on Bruh.
Well, most definitely. Well, we definitely appreciate it. I gotta say, I'm just going to jump right into it because you have truly have paved the way for a lot of actresses and actors out here in America. And I gotta say, watching you and your progression and your journey has truly been phenomenal. So my first question I want to get into and I want to ask you is, how did you know, or how did you know, or when did you know that you was going to be an actress and when you was going to start acting? When did you find that out?
I found that out in high school because I always thought I was going to be a visual artist. And that's another thing, as an artist, a lot of times we have more than one talent. And sometimes we have to decide, which one, takes privy over the other. So I always had a visual talent, and an artist is an artist, as I say. So even that has come like in handy for me as far as how I see things, like, my sets, my clothes, how my show goes. It's all artistry, So I found out like in high school, I found I had, these hours that I had to fulfill, and I end up taking a drama class. And when I
Okay.
took that drama class, I just fell in love with it.
Okay. Well, definitely a very well-rounded background how you got started, and like I said, I absolutely love it. You know, I can't help but express enough how much I have watched you, and how much I have enjoyed your singing, your songs. I mean, there have been so many songs that you've
Thank
come
you.
out with. There have been so many songs that you've come out with that I'm just every time I hear you sing them, I have to sing along because I'm like, yo, Miss Corelli, she got it nailed down, pat.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I do not take that for granted because
Hmm.
you know what? Not everybody hears your voice.
Right,
It's like, so when you connect with people, I mean, that's what that is. It's a
right,
connection,
right,
just like I
right,
was talking about visual art. It's not in the hands, it's in the eyes. So it's
right,
like, as a singer, when people connect with me, it's more than just my voice. It's how I'm saying what I'm saying. So that
right,
means there's some connection there in what I do that connects with your spirit.
right.
So, I don't take that for granted because it's people coming out the wound singing like, woo, you know.
Yes. I definitely understand that.
Yeah. So it's more to it than that.
Okay, so let me ask you this because you've had so many people who have reenacted your Harlem Shake and I just want to get your thoughts on when you hear people or see people reenacting to your famous shake. How do you respond to that?
You know, at first I was like shocked, you know, just like, oh, do they like it like that?
Uh-huh.
Because, you know, when I started doing the urban plays, because before that I was a union actor. I was doing a lot of regional theater. So I was doing a lot of would you say classic theater.
Okay.
So when I met Tyler Perry, I knew about union plays, but I had no interest until I
Okay.
read the script. And when I read the script, I was like, wow, these characters, you know, I know these people, but I don't see these people on stage, you know.
Right.
Some of them in my family, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
so I kind of like that. And I like the messages that he was giving, you know, in the plays. But when I went on that side, it was different. It was very different. It was like what they related to was not the same thing.
Right.
And I think part of the reason why Tyler put, you know, kind of like, I want you to come on this side with me. I see what you're doing. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of bring it to my theater, my
Okay.
theater people, you know.
Right.
And so, you know, I was doing my thing. I'm, you know, trained in theater. But it was different. It was like the people that I was working with, they were just so real and allowing themselves to just be in the moment. And that happened with the Holy Shake because I was at the performance and all of a sudden I was in the moment and the drums were doing something. I don't remember what it was. And all I know is that shoulder got to shaking. And that was like,
I
you know,
love it.
that was like, okay, so they like that, whatever. And they would love it every time. Every time I would do it, they were just like really into it. So as time has gone by, and I tell people if they notice, they're different. Every play, they're
Mm-hmm.
different because I'm in the moment. So,
Right.
you know, sometimes it's like that, sometimes it's both, sometimes up like, and I started noticing too, I was like, it's kind of different. But that has a lot to do with the fact that I'm like a jazz singer. So
Mm-hmm.
the improv thing, you know, I actually do that on theater stage, you know.
Okay.
And Tyler's one of the few, you know, people that'll kind of let you kind of do that. Yeah, everybody else kind of wants you to kind of stick to what did I write? You know, what was my,
Right.
you know, but he allowed the atmosphere of the people to dictate what happens on stage because that's the thing that gives them what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole point, you know, to give the people what they need, you know,
Right.
not just what you want to give them, but what they come there for. What they're going to leave out with. So as time has gone on, then I start seeing the, you know, the filmings. And so I see people who are watching the plays with their moms and stuff like that, they like gravitated to it. I mean, it was like
Yes.
I think it was Marvin Winans, and he saw me in I think I was in Detroit or something like that, and he said I don't know what that you're doing, but you know they like that whatever that is, you know, because he didn't
Uh-huh.
have a name for it. I didn't have a name for it either, and then somebody say, oh, it's the Holy Shake, because when she get into it, that means she got the Holy Ghost, you know. That's what they started saying. So I was like, okay, you want to name it, and I just thought it was great that it was endearing. I didn't think about it as being, you know, they making fun of it or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. And I pay attention to stuff like that, you know, because
Okay.
I don't want to do things that's just to be doing something that has no substance to it. Because I don't really have to, you know. But
Right.
once I got it where people, it was something that it gave them. And I was just like, let the people have that. You
Okay.
know, it's like Tyler saying, I ain't gonna do Medea no more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's
Right.
like, you know, people like Medea, you know, I know, you know, I moved on, I'm doing other stuff, but there's something about that particular thing that give people what they need.
That they do.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, definitely, for all for all you people out there, all you fans out there that are watching, there it is. There's her response to the Harlem Shake, as I like to call it, the Harlem Shake, as I like to call it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Now I gotta ask you this, Miss Currelley, because also, you star in the hit in the hit BET series, bro. So I gotta ask you about that because you played this wild, feisty character named Alice. Talk us a little bit about the Alice character and what it took for you to get into that role, into that character playing Alice.
Yeah, so when, you know, they brought it to me, you know, because Tyler's always put me in these, you know, monarch, deep, the spiritual woman, the godly woman, you know. And so And so I was just like, oh, I'm playing a mother. I'm used to playing a mother. But then the producer said, he was like, she out there now. And
Mhm.
that's all he said. She's out there. So I was like, okay, Tyler, I feel safe with him. That's what I'm saying. I feel safe
Okay.
with him. And I still do feel safe with him. Because what I think the thing about Alice is, and me, is that he trusted me to do Alice. That I would come from a sincere place,
Hmm.
with her, and not try to take advantage of whatever's sensationalize a particular thing about her. That I
Hmm.
would keep it in perspective
Okay.
and be funny at the same time and be
Right.
outrageous at the same time. So when I first read the script, I was like, "Woo, I'm saying that? Okay, people gonna really be like, whoa,
Right.
how are my fans gonna take this? Because this they never seen,
Right.
and not many people in my real life never seen that, first
Right.
that. So
Right.
as time went on, well, first of all, working with the cast was so easy because
Hmm.
a lot of times, you know, you don't know. You doing it's a job,
Hmm.
so you don't know you're gonna be matched up with people you're gonna be able to get along with,
Right.
people who are gonna give you respect. And by me dealing with people from another generation, I was like, I don't know what that's gonna be like. I'm gonna respect them. But I was blessed and fortunate that they gave that respect back. And as we worked together, I start figuring the relationship between my son and I first. And I took it as I've seen this woman before. As a matter of fact, I have an aunt that's very similar.
Okay.
But the thing about it is, Alice was different because I didn't want her to be mean spirited.
Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
um, I wanted her to be funny, but in your face, you know, big.
Right. Right.
Big, and not being, you know, um, feeling inhibited.
Right.
I wanted her to be free,
Right. Right.
because that's the way he wrote her.
Right.
But I didn't want people to miss the fact that she's a single mother to a black man.
Right.
And so when I looked at it like that, and I started looking back in my past, and I was looking at people that I knew, I was like, I know this woman, and
Mhm.
we love her.
Right.
I had an aunt like that. We loved the aunt. As a
Right.
kid, I thought she was fun. The family was like, oh, Lord, here she come.
Right.
But, the grown-ups were like, oh, watch her. But
Right. Right.
the kids was like, like auntie. It's like, she funny,
Right.
So, that was, but once that happened, I loved it, and also for me, it kind of freed me up. And
Okay.
I started understanding myself in the sense that being an entertainer, a lot of times, you criticize so much, you saw what people think, what you
Right.
say,
Right.
they're criticizing everything. And then sometimes you just be what other people want you to be, so you won't be attacked, so for me, it let me know what it's like to be free like that, to
Most
be able to
definitely.
say it the way you want to say it and say what you want to say it. And then also in my demographic,
Hmm.
for a woman to be a sexual being,
Right.
uh, I was not seeing that. And
Right.
so it's like, wow, I'm speaking to a whole generation of women that, they shut them down after, a
Hmm.
certain age, especially, the industry. But it's women out here that's living a full life, you
Right.
know,
Right.
past 40,
Right.
past 50, they're living a life. I mean,
Right.
they want to have, love affairs too. And so once I saw that too, I was like, oh yeah, oh, she going in, you
Yeah.
know.
Most definitely. And again, I gotta say, I remember watching the first episode, and because again, like I said, you definitely have been one of my true inspirations, one of my favorites. And I tell people all the time, anytime Sandra is on screen, I always tell people, "Shut up, be quiet," because I gotta hear what she's got to say. I gotta
Oh,
hear,
that's awesome.
I gotta hear what she got to say, because, like you say, you never really know what Alice is gonna say next.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
I'm telling you. And some of it, because like I was talking about that improvisational stuff, and you see how Tyler does it like on the
Right.
plays, right? We don't know what. I mean, you got to know the background of the people because he'll ask you some stuff on stage. You go like, okay, that ain't in the script. So, but that teaches you to listen And I mean, they tell actors that all the time. I mean, one of your tools, your weapons is your ears.
Right.
Are your ears. You got to listen. And so he's one of those people that you got to listen to.
Right.
So he does that even when he's filming. And so you got to be kind of like on it. And then when something happens, and working with Barry Brewer, the guy that plays my son, who's a comedian. So, you know, that's his thing anyway. You know? And so it's almost like he's challenging Tyler through me.
Right.
I'm the one that end up having to, you know, but of course, you know, Tyler always wins. So, so I don't know, he'll tell me to say something. I'm like, whoa. You know, a lot of times I don't even know till afterwards. Cause I'm like, I look at some stuff now and I'm like, did I say that? Did she say what I thought she said? And then what I end up doing is rewinding. Like, yeah, she said that. She said that. But I'll be like laughing so hard.
Yes, because listen, I can tell you there have been, like I said, there have been episodes that I've seen of you, and there have been things. Because again, like I said, I'm a fan. My mom, she's in here too. Angel for Life.
Hey, Mom.
Angel for Life too. She's in here. And me and her, we always are going back and forth about how you are always coming out with these most random things to say. And it's like, where did she get this from? Like, how did she come up with this stuff? But it's improv, like you said, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I definitely am grateful that Tyler has allowed, you know, you to give out this, to bring out this character and really, you know, bring it to the forefront for a lot of women. Because like you said, a lot of women, they look at you and they see this character and they're like, well, you know, if she can do that and she can, you know, be wild and feisty and all those things, maybe I can have that little bit of that spark too.
There it is.
You
yes.
know?
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. And then too, you know, it's like, and dealing with my son, and, you know, we're dealing with a lot of issues about, you know, because I have a son and he walks out into the world. It's like, you know, you do your best to prepare it. I mean, you don't know what he's going to run into, but it's almost like if John, Alice's son, cannot deal with Alice, what is he going to do out in the world?
Exactly. And that was going to be my next question, because I had a lot of fans asking me, what is your relationship, you know, having John as that son and really y'all having that comedic talk going back and forth. How's that relationship been for you two?
Oh yeah, our chemistry was right away. Okay. You know, I mean, it was right away. And you know, a lot of times, when you go and you do these shows, they bring you in. They might introduce you. They may, or they may not. You may not meet the person until you get on set. You know, but he reached out to me, and I thought that was just incredible. Okay. And we kind of created a relationship through that. And he was just like, I'm John, I'm playing your son. And I was like, wow, that's, you know, that's the way you do it. And we began to talk, and he was just like, hey, let's go, we just hang out, we just go over the stuff. And that was it. Wow. That was it. I mean, when he calls me, like sometimes he'll just call, just holler at me, whatever, he called me Mom. Wow.
See? That let you know. He even off screen, he still calls me Mama.
That's right. That's right. Hey. We're just in it, you know, and we talk about stuff. We talk about stuff about life, and he respects my opinion, and he'll ask me about things, and you know, I'll talk to him just like that. And then when we get on the screen, we still have that. Right. You know, he told me something I didn't even know. I wasn't even aware of it. He said, well, when we first started filming, he said he was really, really nervous. And because he never worked with Tyler before, so he's really like real nervous and stuff like that. And I didn't necessarily pick that up. And I just kept telling him, I was like, oh man, I'm with you. Wherever you go, I'm good. I'm good. You got this. And he was saying something like, really? And he was saying that got him through the first season. I didn't even know that. He was like, when you said that to me, it just gave me confidence. And you just kept telling me that. Like, I got this. And you were just telling me you were going to be good because, you know, we together. Because I'm with you. And so I was like, wow, you never know. Like you said, you never know.
Right.
Man,
Now, let me ask you this, Miss Currelley. Like, what can the fans and the true supporters really expect from more from Alice this season? What can we be looking? What can we be expecting from you? Because I mean, you bring the fire like nobody's business.
yeah, so the thing is, so we're on the third season. So when this third season comes, it's like the relationship, they begin to understand
Okay.
uh really the closeness of John and Alice
Okay.
and how they partners in this. You know what I mean? They're
Okay.
like real, they ride or die. You
Okay.
know, that's what you get to see. Um, because the first I think it's like it kind of comes off like okay, she criticizes him all the time, but da 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 da. But no, they they ride or die.
Right.
You know, and you really get into their relationship on that third season. And of course, that's because he develops another relationship. So you get to see that, and then all that put together. So, and just like anything else, these characters have grown. We've gotten to know them, so now we can take them to another level.
Right.
So it's on another level. But it's more about John and Alice relationship with the guys more so than it was before. You know, like before, there's a lot of the bras.
Right.
I think a little bit on the third, it really gets into him and his mom's relationship,
Okay. Okay.
which are hilarious.
I
I
can.
mean, it's some, yeah,
I can tell.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, so let me ask you this because again, you've played in so many different movies, plays, and one in particular I gotta speak to you about. And I had two other questions for you. Then I'm gonna let you go because I know you're such a busy woman. But my last two questions I have for you, because you star also in Tyler Perry's Medea's class reunion. And when I tell you, I think because for me, I think that's when the shake started. Did you know
Mm-hmm.
did you know at that time working with Tyler and knowing the cast and working with the cast that you were going to eventually be in more and more of his productions and more of his stuff?
No, I didn't. And that was, you said class reunion?
Yes.
That was the first one. That was the first one. And what happened with that, and I haven't really told this story. I got so many stories to tell you. It's a shame. So it's like, so I told you I was doing like regional theater and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was working a lot. I was working a lot. And I found out that these two directors, they were just like having a conversation about me. And what they would do, they would say, well, I'll use her in this, I'll use her in that. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I feel like I'm being a little manipulated. You know what I mean? Um, and I was just kind of like, didn't want to go back and forth. And I remember seeing Tyler, I don't know, was he at another one of his plays? Because I would go and see his plays. And I said, would you please write me something? I'm ready to get up out of here because they just like, they
Right.
just running, controlling, trying to control my career.
Right.
And he said, okay. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking no more about it. And next time, I got to go, he called me, he was like, I got your part. Da 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 da.
Okay.
And I loved the part when he showed it to me. And then the success of it, because I was part of his very first play, the one that he was getting ready to quit, and he looked out the window and the people were around the corner. So this was like the second go round that I worked with him, because then I left and I came back.
Mm-hmm.
But he said to me, I'm trying to think, was this the play? He saw the way it was going, and he said, Sean, you going with me?
Mm-hmm.
That's the old comment. We were on stage. We were getting ready to go on. And he
Right.
just looked and he said, you going with me? And he was my friend. I was like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that's all we said. That's all we
Wow.
said. And, people, it's different. It's not the same, but I do know he believes in my talent
Right.
because he's shown me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just good with that. But I had no idea. I didn't have an idea that he was going to be this mogul, that he was going to be a billionaire, that he was going to have this, be the only African American studio that could, green light a movie. I mean, I didn't know that. I had no
Right.
idea. But
Right.
it's just like you know, it's like what you're doing and the fact that you're doing it with no fear and go ahead and trust your gift and trust what you believe in. Um, it was the same, like the same thing, you
Right.
know. That's why I come on shows when people are just starting, because that's the way it was with him. And when you see people who are determined and driven and their intent,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because first of all, he never said, you know, I'm doing this to be a billionaire. He
Mm-hmm.
always, you know, God told me to tell these stories.
Right.
That's, you know, that's what he
Right.
said. I was just like, wow, you know, and I was in that stage in my life where I was kind of integrating my spirit man with my art. And so he was already doing that. And so I was like, okay, God, so you bring in my kind, you know, and I wanted to be a part of that,
Mm-hmm.
part of somebody uplifting people, having something to say in what they do. And so, yeah, I had no idea, but it was a discernment. It
Mm-hmm.
was, you know, taking a chance. So when I see you on television, when I see you with your own show, I'll say, hey, I felt that. Yeah,
Thank
I didn't know it, but I'll take the chance on it because he believes in it.
Most definitely, most definitely. And my last question I have for you, like I said, and I'm gonna let you go because I swear I can talk to you all day. My last question I have for you is, looking at the landscape now and looking at where your career has gone. What's next for you? That's the main question. What's next for you?
Wow, you know, because I've had to reinvent myself um, so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think it's because you stay connected. You know, you stay connected to what's going on. And before you know it, you reinvented yourself. Um, and what I think for me now, I want to, it's just certain things that I want to do. You know, it's certain things. It's not like I've done movies, but I want to do movies a certain way. Sometimes you have to ask for things and be, you know, specific about them. You know, you have to say, okay, so now when I do a movie this time, I want to do the lead, and I want to do it like this. You know, or I want to do a television show and I want to be that in that, you know.
Okay.
So I have those things. Like when I do my concert, I want to do a huge concert um, with everything, with uh, orchestra, you know, horns, everything, because that's who I am. You know, all these things. I was the SOS band, I was the Roy Ayers, da, da, da. So I encompass so many different things. I want to do a concert that's truly me. That's not me settling. You know, I can't do all. You know, it's like I can do a certain amount. I want to do all that who I am. You know, so I still have those goals that I'm going, because I'm living my dream. So I can't
Right.
say, you know, I can't say, well, my dreams, but I'm living.
Right.
But I have goals that I want to pursue.
Right.
So I'm that's what I'm fighting for, and fighting for control over my career. You know, so I won't have to. People have to like I pick you. You know,
I get
I
that.
want to. You know what I mean? I want to get to that point.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, Miss Currelley, like I said, I could talk to you all day, but I'm gonna let you
Me
go.
too. You're so easy to talk to.
I appreciate that, and again, I love you so much. To all the fans out there, I want to say personally, thank you for joining us on Independent Scene Podcast. We with the wonderful and the fabulous Chandra Currelley Young. She joined us today. Sandra, please continue to go do what you do best. Continue to strive. Us fans are gonna continue to watch, bruh. Let the fans know where they can watch, bruh, at what time and what day.
Okay. So you can watch Bruh all day and all night long on streaming on BET Plus. But we're on BET because they do it like a crossover thing on Tuesday nights. So, you know, look out for the show. And like I said, join BET Plus, which is black all the time. And you can get to see all of the episodes, which are hilarious. And you can just go from one to the other. And look out for the third season.
Most definitely. And with that being said, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, the one and true and living legend, Hunter J23 of Independent Scene Podcast. Once again, special thanks to my special guest, Chandra Currelley Young. Continue to strive and do well. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time on another edition of Independent Scene Podcast. We love you guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ms. Currelley. Love you.
Bye-bye.